Have you ever watched a movie and thought, what if this character made YouTube videos? What would they look like? Well, today we're gonna find out by taking these 5 movies and turning them into clickbait, starting with A Quiet Place. I think a good simple title would be, If You Talk, You Die. Let's work on the thumbnail. I'll extend and remove the background on John Krasinski and then add a nice cornfield in the background. I also think he looks a little bit too happy since we're gonna add the monster behind him on the right. Let's use a grass brush to make the monster look like it's actually in the scene before fixing up the background a tiny bit. I'll use an effect to fix the lighting on the creature and also fix the cutout a little bit. Next, I'll add a camera raw filter to make the image of John stand out more and also fix the colors on him. After that, I'll go over his face with a dark curves layer and then do it again with a bright curves layer. I'm also gonna saturate his eyes since the color matches with the field. I think it kind of looks cool. But will this thumbnail catch people's attention? I mean, maybe, but something that might help is making his jacket a bright color. I started with blue, but I think red actually stands out more, and it also matches the scene where his son dies. So I did add some highlights on John and the monster, but that's kind of boring. So to make this thumbnail actually make sense, I'll cut out this guy's hand from a different image and put it in front of Mr. Krasinski. And after fixing up the colors on the hand, I'll add a shadow onto his face. Finally, I'll slightly blur the background directly behind him and add a camera raw filter. So here is the video. But the next movie we're gonna turn into clickbait is Luca, who's like a fish guy. I don't know, I didn't see the movie, but I did do a little bit of research, and I think a good title would be I Disguised Myself as a Human. So let's work on the thumbnail, which I think should be a split thumbnail. So I'll add fish Luca and put him on the right side. Next, I'll take human Luca and match him up on the left. Let's remove the background and fix up the cutout. I'll add a new background for the left side and blur it out a little bit. I'm also gonna fix up Luca's hair and add a camera raw filter to fix up the image. I'm also gonna do that with the fish version because it's a little dull for a thumbnail, so this is what that did. And following that, I'm just gonna make a cutout of the fish version because the water has way too many JPEG artifacts, which is this choppy kind of look. I added some new water, but let's erase Luca's smile and bring it down so it kind of matches the fish version. And then I'll just fix that up so it doesn't look as weird. After that, I went around the faces with some curve adjustments to make the brighter and darker parts more bright and dark. Let's add some bubbles on the top right and add a white line to separate them. Finally, I'll add a camera raw filter, so this is Luca's YouTube video. And before we move on to K-pop demon hunters, let me tell you about FlexiSpot, the sponsor of this video. This is the FlexiSpot dual motor desk E6, which can lift up to 330 pounds and has a tensile strength of 28,000 PSI. That's how you know this desk is premium. Well, and the 4.6 stars on Amazon. You also get some clutch accessories to go with it, like some wheels to move around, a cable manager, which I know a lot of you need, and some Velcro straps. If you sit at a desk all day, I know your butt kind of hurts, but with this desk, you can just stand up and raise it. Or you can stand on it, if that's your thing. The E6 can withstand impacts of 330 pounds over 20,000 times. Now that is crazy. You know what else is crazy? The fact that this desk didn't even move when I just jumped on it. And they also have this bamboo option, which works with basically any room. It goes from 2 feet tall all the way up to 4 feet tall. And it can remember up to 4 height settings with the control panel, so you don't have to spend a bunch of time messing with the height. The desk is so good that FlexiSpot is confident to provide a 10-year warranty for the desk frame and motor. This thing is great. So if you're interested, click the first link in the description and get yourself this premium desk. Thank you to FlexiSpot for sponsoring this video and becoming a part of the Jord family. But let's see what type of video Huntrix would make from K-pop demon hunters. And they love eating food, so a good title would be something like Ramen Mukbang Huntrix Edition, because honestly their fans would watch anything they post. So I took this screenshot from the movie and I'll just zoom in to fit the thumbnail size and rule of thirds. Let's use the select subject tool to, well, select our subjects, which did okay, but I am gonna have to fix it up a little bit, so let's do that real quick. Now let's make the girls stand out with the camera raw filter, even though Zoe already stands out because of how good she looks. Okay, editor, cut that out of the video.
No.
I'm gonna add some level adjustments and desaturate the background for now. I'm also gonna add some grain to differentiate it from the girls. Let's add a quick highlight and black outer glow on them, and then go around the ramen and make that more saturated. Let's use the curve adjustments to lighten up the bright parts and darken up the dark parts. Let's colorize the background so it's not as bland, and of course add a camera raw filter to finish it all up. So here's the Huntrix video. Oh, and if this video gets 1 billion likes, I'll carve my logo into the moon. Bro, you're not gonna get 1 billion likes. You guys wanna see something fun? He's dead. But the next movie character trying to go viral is Oppenheimer. I guess he is a real dude, but I'm talking about the movie. So a good title, I think, would obviously be I Created an Atomic Bomb. Or actually, I think it should be The Atomic Bomb since, I mean, it was kind of the first one. I feel like this one's gonna be pretty simple, so let's just put an explosion on the ground and add some highlights to go with it. And yes, the explosion would be bigger than this in reality, but at that point, why not just make this the thumbnail? So let's cut out this picture of Oppenheimer with the pen tool. Let's put him on the left side with a camera raw filter, of course. Now I'll just add a bunch of orange highlights on his right side, and that's basically it. It kind of looks like a testing ground or something, but I do think it works for the thumbnail. So let's move on to the final movie character starting a YouTube channel, who is James P. Sullivan. And in Monsters, Inc., Sully tries to beat the scare record. And if he's gonna be a YouTuber, that's the perfect opportunity to make a video. So the title should be, well, I broke the scare world record. And for the thumbnail, I'll take this image and adjust it to be more on the right side. Next, we'll add Sully on the left, but this is probably the worst PNG I've ever seen.
It's the biggest piece of dog shit.
So let's use blend if to fix it up a little bit and then add back the stuff that we actually want. Let's make this light turned on and make these bright as well. I'm also gonna color in the scare meter on this canister. Now let's cut out this other canister and just place a bunch of them around the door. I also fixed up the background image with the camera raw filter, but I think we need to fix the color on the canisters before adding some shadows. Now let's go back around the canisters and add some highlights so they can stand out a little bit more. And let's also put some highlights onto Sully's horns. I also went around his face and body with some curve adjustments, and finally, obviously, added a camera raw filter. So this is Sully's new video. Don't forget to subscribe and check out this video where I do the same thing but with popular television shows.